My name is Jeff Morgan. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I am here in Amarillo, Texas, and I'm with Jessi Bailey. And Jessi, thank you so much for all the, number one, for all the work that you do.
Oh, thank you.
I know a lot of the stuff that you do that many people don't know what you're doing. You great researcher, work behind the scenes, and I remember this last session when we were testifying. You texted me a few times, and actually during the testimony, I brought up stuff that you were texting to me. So I want to just thank you for that, and for the court watching that you do and everything else. But one thing, when we talk about the family court situation, the family court judges, family court attorneys, we know that a lot of times there's unnecessary fighting, but you have experienced this directly.
Yes.
When really a family law attorney, or as I call them, the anti-family law attorneys, really made things a lot worse. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your story?
Well, when I first hired the attorney, it was really to get more time with my daughter. Because she wanted to spend more time with me. So I went and talked to her. I just told her that I wanted to do mediation with my ex, just me, my ex, not the spousals, that we could come up with the good time for all of us. Well, instead, what she did was she filed, she served papers on him without even approving them through me first, and it was for sole custody. It was for child support. She asked him for child support. She was serving him also because there was no insurance, and I didn't know this until after the fact. And of course it caused all these problems with my daughters, because they're stuck in the middle. They don't understand what's going on, and they were mad, so there was no way for me to get to them because they weren't talking to me.
So they got mad at you because of what your attorney did.
Exactly, and I could not explain that to them.
And there was no, and again, the attorney took actions and did not even tell you about them.
Right. She didn't ask for my signature or anything. She just served the papers on him and didn't know until after the fact.
That seems highly unethical.
Very unethical.
The attorneys often, and they won't talk about this, but attorneys often are part of the problem that really inflame things.
Yes.
And one of the reasons being, and I hate to say it in this way, but it's very clear, if there's fighting that goes on, it creates more conflict, it creates more billable hours.
Right. Yes, it does.
And so tell us what happened after this all took place then. How did you actually find out that she had done this stuff apart from your knowledge?
Well, it was during the summer, so she had him served during the month of July, July.
Do you mind if I ask what year this was that this all happened?
This was in 2019.
2019.
And the
Okay.
girls were with me during that July. She served them on the 7th. I think it was the 7th of July. And immediately my ex called the girls, and I had no idea what was served. I had no idea what the paper said until after I went to see her, after the girls went home, and then the girls weren't talking to me after that.
Wow. So it's interesting that you're mentioning this, because you hear a lot of these attorneys talk about collaborative law, collaborative divorce, and mediation. And this was a mediation that really became as if you were going into the ring and not even prepared for it.
I wasn't even prepared. I didn't want child support. I just wanted more time, just like my daughter wanted. I was trying to, it was best for all of us.
Right. Now, my understanding is that your daughter wanted to have more time with you. Is that correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, she just felt like that with the standard possession order, it wasn't enough time with me. And I agree with her. It's the standard possession order is not enough time for the other parent to spend with their child, or the child to spend with their parent.
Right.
And
so your fundamental role as a parent, ideally both parents should be in the same household, both parenting together. It doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that one parent should be erased from the child's life.
Right.
The children, 50% your DNA, 50% your ex-husband's DNA. It would seem even biology says to us that both parents are essential to create a single child. Both parents are essential to see the child be reared properly and into adulthood.
Exactly.
And yet our family courts in Texas often take a parent, more often than not it's the father, but in the cases where it happens to the mother, I can only imagine how devastating that is, because it's supposed to be the father, and if for any reason you're the parent that is on the on the bad end of the stick, so to speak.
Right.
I can only imagine the devastation that you feel and maybe people are saying about you. There must be something wrong with her.
That's what I felt. And that's, exactly.
And then after that, now your daughters aren't talking with you because
They're
they think,
they're stuck in the middle. They don't want to be stuck in the middle. They
Right.
don't want to have to be forced to choose.
right,
They want the parents to be able to work it out for
Yeah.
them, and they just want to be kids.
yeah, exactly. And one of the things that kind of disgusts me with these family law attorneys, they always say, we've got to be fighting for divorce, and you have to have a right for divorce. Sometimes divorce is necessary, sometimes it's not necessary, but it still happens. But I think you'll agree with me, divorce impacts children.
Yes, it does.
Is it ever in the best interest of the children by and large?
No, it's not in the best interest of the children, not at all.
So you have an attorney that has gone behind your back, created this conflict,
Hmm.
and what happened after that?
She withdrew within a month.
Was she just then there to be a wrecking ball?
I don't know. She started up. Maybe it wasn't the courtroom that she wanted to be in where she knew she could win. Maybe, because, she's usually in one. And
Right. So even if, and another thing that people don't talk about a whole lot, when one parent wins, the child almost always loses.
always loses.
Yeah. So, by nature, lawyers look at things from a conflictual nature. There's got to be some type of conflict. There's got to be a winner and a loser. And I think that this is one of the traps of the so-called family law system. And we've got to really say that, they are there to fight and fight, but the fighting has long-term consequences on our kids, on our grandkids. So it's been, what now, 3-4 years? Or
It's been since December 2019, so 4 years.
4 years since
4
you've
years.
seen your youngest daughter?
I've seen her once in there, and that was right before a court, right
Mhm.
before a final.
Wow.
And it was a setup.
Wow. So what did the judge do as well then? Did the judge, did not the judge understand the dynamics of what was going on? Was there any way to appeal to the judge, say, look, and I didn't even want this fight?
Well, we've had several hearings, and each time there was always, they discussed it behind back doors, what was going on, and he came out and he blamed me. He says, you've got a lot of problems that you need to fix. I have problems because I want to enforce my court orders.
Yeah. And really, as a parent, I don't think the state should even be telling you how to parent or anything else.
No, I don't either. There was something that the judge said that really stuck with me. He said that I make that choice. I make the decision. In this situation, I have not made the decision, telling me that he decides if I have a relationship with my kids.
Well, and yeah, so a stranger who does not know your children.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you gave birth to your children. You nurtured them. You were up in the night with them. When they're sick, you're with them. You made sure that they got to school. You had how many years with your daughter before this judge, who doesn't know your daughter, who's a stranger?
16
years.
16 years.
16 years with your daughter, and yet a judge who is a stranger somehow knows what's best for you and your child.
He thinks he does.
Yeah, wow. Unreal.